Bitcoin. The US dollar has lost 98% of its value over the last 100 years, and that means anyone holding the US dollar, holding a ton of cash, is losing money, hemorrhaging 2% every single year on the tides of inflation. And it also means since inflation is happening at 2%, there's absolutely no solid mechanism to stop that from being 20, 200, 2,000% in a year rather than just 2%. We've seen it happen in recent memory in Venezuela. Adopting an inflationary economic model the way that just about every country on the planet has by now is extremely dangerous, because eventually that inflation can get out of hand when governments decide that the spending they need to do in the next 12 months is more important than the sovereignty and the salability of their currency. And unfortunately, that's exactly what we're seeing happen this year. Through the CARES Act and several other acts passed through by the U.S. federal government, there has been a lot of money printing. People get on to me when I say money printing. The creation of government-backed bonds injects liquidity into the market. It injects, not liquidity, it injects supply into the market. And the number of dollars in circulation has gone up dramatically. $10 trillion, in fact. That devalues all of our dollars. And it's going to take a little while for it to catch up. These things do not move quickly. But over the next couple of years, you will notice inflation in your dollar. You will notice the price of gas and milk going up, and you will have to deal with that. But the people that are in Bitcoin will be like a boat rising with the tides, rather than someone anchored to a piece of land drowning while the tide rises. Make no mistake when I say that just about every time in the history of the world that a government has adopted a fiat currency, it has led to the downfall of said government and nation, because eventually something like COVID is going to happen, and inevitably the government gets short-sighted saying, let's print money so we can get ourselves out of this situation. It happened in World War I, happened in World War II, it happened during 2008, and it's happening now. And in doing so, you weaken the future value of the dollar. You borrow from future prosperity to put a Band-Aid on today instead of letting the crisis happen and heal naturally. And by the way, I can hear you typing in the comments right now, Jeb. Yeah, that's just the US dollar though. Ha! I live in Tasmania. What does that have to do with me? Well, unfortunately, my friend, every other currency on the planet, more or less, is backed by the US dollar, which means whatever happens to the US dollar happens to the rest of your currencies. You would be wise to follow what is going on with our currency right now, and it's very dangerous. And the one place that you will find safety is not in stocks. You will find it in Bitcoin, and you will find it in gold to a certain extent, but you will mostly find it in Bitcoin.